All right, we'll try that. See if that works. This is a pain. Hello, Jared. How are you? Can you hear me? The other one, it glitched. Woohoo! Hi, Darren. You can hear me? Fraser, how are you? Stephen, how are you going today? Oh, good. You can see and hear me. Daniel, hello from New Zealand. How are you, Daniel? It's nice to see you. Hello, Liam. How are you? Oh, yeah. No, not too much drinking. Okay, let's try again. You're right. Hello, Brett. Hello, Melon. Do you know my sister? I don't know who your sister is. I know a Parker, but she has a sister, but not a brother. Who's your sister? Yeah, the next one is going to be how to live stream. Yeah, I know. I'm not very good at this. Riley. Oh, Riley Parker. I know that name. Yes, I do know that name. I'm just trying to think of a face, though. I can't picture a face. I know the name, though. Is she quiet? Really academic, but really quiet? I'm not sure. If it's the Riley Parker, yeah, it could be the one I'm thinking of. Right. Where were we? We went defunct. But oh, and you're 8. I don't know. I might. I'm in holiday mode. I've just forgotten everyone. One of his students told me to check your channel. Geordie, give him some. Oh yeah, Geordie. Geordie is a student, and he lives somewhere around here. I don't know where he lives, but I look out the garage and you see him walk past. The other guy was drawing the curtains and he was walking past in the dining room. And he's a quiet kid, but he makes his presence felt. He's a good kid, Geordie. Hello, Lindsay. Thank you very much. Yeah, everything's all good. Everything's fine. Let's turbo that Sigma. Yeah, we'll get to that. I've got it finished now, the Sigma. It's all done. It's roadworthy. It's got all its insurance done. It's driving well. It's all good. It's had its front end alignment done. It's had its exhaust done. But I've got to get it. I mentioned the last feed, but I think the thing had glitched by then. I've got to go to Vic Roads on Wednesday morning. So today's Friday, but I can't go before then because the XW's one is up for renewal. And there's a car club meeting on Tuesday night. So I'll go there, get that rubber stamp, and I'll do them both at the same time. Stalking, no, I don't think he is. Love your XW series. Went out and purchased the 1967 XR afterwards. Good one. Very good. They're a lovely car, the XRs, aren't they? Do you like teaching art class in Tech Metal? So you must be... I do enjoy teaching that, yeah. Morris Major, I'd love one. Is it an elite? I'd love one. Just don't know where to put it, you know what I mean? Graham, hello Graham, how are you today? What do you think of the steering box and the Sigma? All the Lancers have all that slot. I don't know why they didn't put, and I'm going to say this in the last one, I don't know why they didn't put rack and pinion in them. If you think of a Turbo Sigma and put rack and pinion parassisted steering on, it would just be, it'd be a world-class little car. The steering and the front end geometry was ridiculous on those things. 7L, 7JK. Fraser Parker. Oh, were you in Mr. Orr's class, were you? Bounce, I don't enjoy teaching so much, but I've got a glass of water. I just had a cup of tea, and if I have a cup of tea now, I'll be going to the toilet all the time because I've just finished one, 2 in succession. That's lethal. Yeah, okay then. Yeah, look, I love teaching that. I think it's great fun. It's difficult when you're teaching along with another teacher because he'll have an idea in his head what he wants you to do. And although we're meant to be teaching exactly the same stuff, we can't because of the restrictions in the rooms. And it makes it very difficult because the metal and the wood rooms are so differently tooled up. And so you have to do different projects in them, depending on which one you're in most of the time. Mr. Anderson. That's the what's that? Everyone used to say that to me, Mr. Anderson. What was that? Matrix. XD is going well. It's now housed at my mother's place in a retirement village because the car's pretty retired as well. And I've got to pull it out and do a transmission cooler on it. Do I remember you saying you might give the Sigma to your son? Is that still on the cards? I said to my son, you can take it whenever you want, but you got to help me do it up. And he ditched out of it. He wouldn't touch it. So then he comes up to me the other day and goes, I'm taking this to the beach. I said, no, you're not. You didn't help me do it up. Like you probably will, but I like the idea. I would give it to him in a heartbeat if he looked after it, but I don't know if he would. And I'm just reluctant at this stage. When he's a bit older, yeah, he can have what he wants. If he showed a bit of, hi Kevin, if he showed a bit of, care and that sort of stuff and an interest, he only saw it when we got it and he liked the interior. And then he just didn't look at it until I finished it. And then he's all over it again. So if he, decides that he wants to start looking after it and that sort of stuff, of course, he can take it whenever he wants. None of the Sigmas had rack opinion. Recirculating ball and all, I know, and it's rubbish. Recirculating ball is great in a bus or a truck or even those big old Falcons it's fine with, but in a Sigma they should have had rack opinion. Yes, the Sigma would have been like a budget BMW with a decent front end. I learned driving one, and it was just in my experience that made it unpleasant to steer. No, they've got terrible steering in them. I don't like them in there. I don't like the steering in them. I think it's awful. Mine's good to park, where normally they're awful. They load up when you go to park at low speed, but I put power steering in mine, so it's pretty good like that. But is this video lagging? Oh, that's a pity. That is a real pest, is it? Yes, I've been a nice Honda I lent to a friend. Yeah, people are careless, aren't they? NBN, the NBN I've been delaying. They've been getting loads of stuff. It's probably on the desk here, connect up to NBN. I don't want it because all I've heard is horror stories. Having said that, the Optus cable network, I'm with Optus cable, and that's been brilliant. I've not got a problem in the world with it, but I don't trust NBN. NBN, no bloody network. All I hear is bad things about it, so I'm just delaying it. Talking about front-end geometry, we had a problem here in New Zealand with the Lancers where due to punch out the LCAs was wrong, and most of them have positive camber. Yes, these do too, positive camber, so your wheels are like this. Negative, I mean, you can roll onto your tyre around corners. It's much better handling. Oh, you like to say, oh, good. That's nice to hear. Looking forward to you working on your XD. Recently bought mine back after selling it 20 years ago. Oh, wow. That is XP Taz, you're a legend. Huh. Thank you very much. Now, where was I? It was the first game. I'm loving, yeah, you would. I'd love to get my Galaxy back. I had a Mercedes-Benz Coupe, like an SLC. I'd love to have those cars back. Yeah, I will connect to NBN. I haven't got a choice anyway. And we're with Optus Vision instead of Foxtel, which is the same sort of thing. And we've got to cull that and then reconnect, if you know what I mean, because all that's going. Okay, planning on having kids soon. Well done. The XB is just barely in pain. I'm guessing it's all going to take the back seat, which is fine. But how did you manage when yours were young? I used to do cars before I had kids. And then when my kids were very young, I didn't do them. Just because it was easy for me because Suzanne breastfed. And so through the night, all I did every now and then was change nappies. And so I wasn't heating up formula and milk and all that sort of stuff. And, I would give her a break through the day. So I was getting a good night's sleep anyway. So it was quite easy for us. Well, it was easy for me. It wasn't for her. She had a horrible time. But yeah, no, I got back into cars, I think 2005. I started buying cars again. And by then, my youngest daughter was 4. And my eldest one was 10. What are we going? Optus Vision, yes, still got it. We got Fetch, but we don't even use that. I don't know I don't know how to use it. The most common ones. Only a tiny majority have poor NBN experience. Don't believe negativity. I'm out. Goodbye and good riddance. Oh, I don't know what that means. Can't wait till you finish the GXL. Yes, ditto. And this is the year for finishing projects. And another thing is Dave's got all the engine parts back. So I've set up the garage to finish the XL250, finally, 18 months after it was finished. We're going to do that on Sunday and then back into the 350 engine. Next video, probably on Monday, I'll do an XL one, provided that all goes well. It's hard to appreciate something you haven't earned, yes, and that's young kid, you know. He's only 19. He's 20 in October. Yeah, the video stream is jumpy. I can't do much about that. Friends of ours had a TM Magno, great car, but it did not have power steering. It was like a Mack truck. They retrofitted power steering, and it was bloody easy to drive, yeah. Selling the 750, I've got to hang on to that. Andy Brook. Yes, I know. And have you started welding? Have you started practicing on those doors, Andy Brook? Andy's got he's from the Ford Forum. I've been Andy, and he's been very generous in donations and support. And I gave him my old welder, which isn't a great welder, but it does one little sheet stock really well. And he's going to get into his jigsaw soon. But his is sort of more a rolling resto. Mine was a ground up sort of thing. And Andy's is too original to do that with. It's too good a car to do that with. You're better just doing a rolling resto. Just wondering, are we likely to see the bikes back anytime soon? I'd love to see those old fours running. Well, the XL we do Sunday, after tomorrow, because we've got all the bits to put the XL engine together. Then the 350 motor goes off to the Hydro Blaster to get all the cases and everything cleaned up. And I've de-spoked the rear 750 wheel, delaced it, because I've got to get that rim re-chromed, and it's a 17-inch. I can't get a new rim for it. I want a new rim, but I can't get one. So I've got to get the old one re-chromed, which means I'm going to get stooge bad. No welding yet, Andy. Pulled the front guards off. Didn't find anything too bad. That is excellent. That's where your biggest problems can be in those things. And if yours is good, that's great. If it's just got a bit of panel rust, that's just so superficial. Hey Peter, how long will it take before the last video on Sigma will be posted? Well, the Sigma goes in for reg on Wednesday. It's all finished and roadworthy, and I've got half an hour of footage on it so far, which I'll have to cut about 10 minutes, and then I'll drive it around and take some footage, and that's it for that one until we go to turbo, which won't be yet. Sorry. Live fairly local to me. Looking forward to seeing the Sigma on the road. Yeah, well, it's on the road now. It's just not registered yet, so it's roadworthy and everything, which I'm really stoked about. The guy, get this is a real compliment. The guy that did roadworthy, he hates them. And when we rang him up, I've got a Sigma here. He's like, oh no, you know, he's like this. I said, no, it's actually a pretty good one. It should be all right, but have a good look at it. So it goes in for roadworthy, and he rings back, and he said, this has no right to be that good. And that's a great compliment. I don't care that he hates it, but the fact that he said that sort of quantifies the work we've done on it. So we dropped out again. 88 people, wow. So yeah, so Sigma's finished on Wednesday. So whatever after that to do the video. I don't normally put any effort into editing them, I just bang them out. The 350 and 750 we start now. And the 250, Dave's 250. You still hear me? Can you see that? More words for rejuvenate, refurbish, recondition, recreate. That's probably what we're doing, revamping it, aren't we? Video is classic webcam. Yeah, I can't do much about that. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just not enjoying work, that's all. I have a bit of a hard time there in some ways. Still unclear, that's good. XC is good, I haven't touched it. What have I got to do on it? First thing on the XC when it comes spring is finish off the door trims, put the inner belts on, and finish plugging up all the power windows and getting that all sorted. The XC is kind of annoying now because it's just, hello Mark, how are you? It's just, it's expensive stuff now. Rear bumper re-chroming and rear headlights re-silvered and an exhaust. Dale will do that and just stuff like that, which is quite expensive stuff. It does make it worth it. Everyone that had the Sigma has commented. The guy at Bob James that did the front end alignment came out and the boss came in and said, did you mind us lifting the bonnet because the foreman wanted to see it? I said, just do what you want. And they were really, really positive. Everyone that looked at it was really positive, and that's cool. Sigmas are an uncool car, but everyone's had one, and if they haven't, their parents, their sister, their grandparents, someone's had one. Everyone's been in touch with those cars sometime. and so it's nice to it's nice to get that sort of feedback. And really, when I got it, I knew it'd be an easy car, and it just turned out to be the most fun car I've done. Oh dear, who's writing that? Oh no. Can we get rid of this stuff? Hang on, I don't like that. Let's report that, hey? Unwanted commercial contest, harassment, hate speech. I'm not having that. I think that's disgusting writing that. Right. Yeah, we're not having that sort of stuff. Keep the videos coming. Yep, there's more coming. Normally on holidays, I bang out a whole stack of them. Hang on a second. What's this? Not surprised. Yeah. Oh, I'll show you this. Here's a spoiler. Yeah, I've got rid of. Yeah, I don't mind showing those. What did that guy say? Yeah, you can see that. Here's the book. I put the book together for it. And look, this looks rubbish. This looks ridiculous. But at the end of the day, I'll stand up and show you. I'll show you a couple of things I've done with it. And, oh, that's the road radio. I want to show you that. That's the diary of work here. Can you see that? All the work that we did over 6 months. And I just do a sentence after each day, or after each half hour or whatever, and then we get into the cost of it. So I've done the little thing on it, and I'll show you all that in the final video. Yeah, I reported. I'm not having that. I can't stand that sort of nonsense. It's just not necessary. That kind of thing. It's probably, yeah, look, it is. It'll be a kid doing something silly. 351, okay. My brother had one and drove it from Auckland to Wellington. New bearing came loose. 50,000 k's, tyre made all the way. Yeah, I'm glad the term's done too. When you terminate, we'll use factory inlet links. Yeah, you know what? I don't want custom. I thought about it. I can do it easily. I can make something up myself, but it wouldn't look factory. I'm going to wait and see if I can source some factory stuff. I want it to look, it has to look right. Do you know what I mean? A few times we do. Yeah, I'll do a meet and greet at some stage. Just haven't got around to organising it. Normally, every bit of spare time I get, I'm either with the family. I'm with the family most of the time. I go out to the garage when I can. It looks frequent, but it's not as frequent as I'd like it. And I'm just always busy. Sometimes when I get home from work, I work with kids and adults all day in a community of 1,500 people, and sometimes, or more now, and sometimes I just want to come home and not talk to anyone, which sounds rude. I don't mean for that to be rude, but you just get tired, I guess. Father had a logbook still for the coupe now. I know it's excellent having all the history. Makes all the difference. It's a great read too. One of the signals, they weren't injected. They had a CD 175 carby on them. Funny thing is, when you turbo them, they use less fuel than with those silly McCurdy's on them. Just bought an AU Series 1XR8 manual for $32.50. That's a good price. And that'll last you forever. Just keep the maintenance up and you're good to go. Yeah, I really like the compliments. It's so cool. I never expected compliments on it, to be quite frank. I thought, I'm going to show up with this thing. And one guy wrote, this is worse than your lawnmowers. And I thought, oh, yeah, it probably is. Power steering did make a lot of difference. It made all the difference in the world, because those things aren't actually that pleasant to drive without it. Just before the offensive distracted you, I wanted to ask you, if you ever get all your cars and bikes finished, what you do with them. I think you're running out of space. Oh, absolutely. I'm completely out of room. The XD's at Mum's, the MG's at Raymaker's workshop, and they've just sold it. So when settlement comes, that's coming home. And so I'm about to spend the holidays gutting the garage, or part of it, throwing out a whole lot of stuff from the shed and trying to make room for the bike on the side. The trouble is when you sell them, you miss them. Jay Leno once said, never ever sell a car, which is an idealistic thing. You can't always do that. I've sold heaps of cars and never regretted it, heaps of them. Have an old Rolls Royce Silver Dawn, wow, which has a massive amount of history, including every trip it's ever itemized from 1974 through to 2003. It really makes a car knowing its history. Yeah, I agree. We'll work on the Plymouth, absolutely. Oh, what? Lindsay? Oh, thank you so much. Wow, that's a big deal. Lindsay Hall, you're the man. Thank you. And I'll be able to use that too. The Plymouth has to go to Jason's to get the trim done, but Jason's got his hands full at the moment with his spare lane. Jason Hill, who's doing a ZFL in restoration. I've got a spare turbo set up. Is it worth big money yet? Can I have it? Pretty smart guy. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's easy for Jay Leonard to say. The guy's got a garage the size of an airport waiting lounge. But the thing is this, I live sort of in a place where there is absolutely everything available to me in short distance. So you can move out to a bigger spot with a bigger garage, but you're in the car all the time chasing bits. I know Lindsay's a legend. Look at that, $50. That's huge. Thank you, Lindsay, again. I don't know how to recover it though. I think it goes onto the Google AdSense. I'm not sure. My dad had a GM Sigma wagon as a telecom fleet car, never allowed to ride in it due to fleet policy. He didn't stop Dad going to the hardware store. Yeah, that's what you do. They've got a high roof in them, haven't they? Did you ever work at a Ford dealership? Yes, City Ford, which is now the casino, and Etheridge Ford in Ringwood. Yeah, Jay Leonard's a rich guy, isn't he? Good on him, though. I like him. Hello from Sydney. Have to say your Sigma is the best presented one I've ever seen outside of the car shows. Well done, Pete. Thank you very much. Pearson, I'm still regretting selling my HC Monero and VK Berliner 5-litre wagon. I was a car cleaner at Nielsen Holden when those VKs were new. And I had an HT Monero too. It was a 186S with an Opel 4-speed, and I sold it for $500. Pistol Pete, how are you today, Pistol? Are you well? How's your Monero going? You can store the XW at my place. I miss my... Yeah, you sold yours. I'm surprised to see that. You got a nice valve though. I met your... There's my Dropple going out on Thursday this week at work. He's a dead ring. He was operating a concrete pump. Hang on, where's the message gone? Hang on, where's the... ask me if you... No. My brother's John. He works at the Healy factory. Hello. How are you going, Ty? Nice to see you here. Musty One's workshop. I did see a notification. I looked at it, and it's massive. It's huge. He's a lucky man. But he's earned it. He's got something like 300,000 subscribers, lucky bugger. I'm pushing it to get 17. But then I reckon I've got a more loyal support base than he has. My support base is fantastic. Thanks, Elliot. Thanks for coming. Yes, the Sigma finale should be within a week. But thank you very much for coming. It's lovely to see you. Your teaching style is great, restoring HQ Statesman. Wow, a friend of mine, Richard, a friend of my brother's, really. Richard Lauder had one back in the day with a 5-litre, and he put a Muncie 4-speed in it. Videos are great, all the best. Seems to be restoring Fords like Pete C and his Mark III Cortina. He's got a hell of a following too. He only does one type of car, but he does them very well. 4 Falcons in the family. Yeah, I've got a few here too. I think how many have we got? We sold the EL. That was it. We would have had 4 if we kept that. We've got 3 now. Mental health, yeah, especially men's mental well-being for the past 2 videos. I'm currently receiving trauma counselling. I still see, I hope you're well, Nick. It's horrible. And I still see a psychologist. And it's having some impact. The problem is when you're feeling like that, you don't want help. You're kind of wallowing in your own misery, if you know what I mean. It's a very difficult thing to work with. And particularly when you know what, in my case, I know exactly what the cause is. But, and there's a few people that haven't been very supportive, in regard to the problem I've had. I'll divulge what it all is when it's all finalised and that sort of stuff. But no, I hope you're all right. It friggin' sucks when you feel like that. It's horrible. Oh, hang on a second. How much Serranos are worth now? I had 8 of them back in the day. I've had stacks of LJs too. And yeah, I'd actually prefer an LC now. Storage man, I'm here now. I have 3 Morries now, which have been storing 20-foot containers in the Western Subs. Well, looking for a new place. It's actually good value. Yeah, a lot of people use shipping containers. Make sure you keep making videos. I really watch TV, watch content like yours. Thank you very much, Chris. I don't like the drama, the dramatic stuff they put on TV with things like overhauling and all the mucking around, and even Kindig. That was a great show, but then the foreman's mucking around with tank guns and stuff, and just think, get lost, just do your work. Maybe I should have more of a sense of humour. I've got a pretty good sense of humour, but when I want to watch a car, I don't want to watch some guy goofing off. Man Cave Engineering. Hey, Peter, I have a set of genuine XCGs for bumper overriders in almost new condition. Would they be of any use to you? I don't really want to see them go back in the bin. Matt, I've got a pair. I wasn't sure whether to put them on, though. But yeah, look, if you don't want them, I'll certainly put them on. I was going to leave the lines fairly clean on it, but yeah, look, yeah, that'd be lovely. I can certainly use them. Pete C. Bestcourt, yeah, he does lovely work, doesn't he? But they're all Pinto 2 litres. He needs a big 6 in one of them. I think you could get a 2.3 V6 in the Cortinas over there. I'm not sure. Thank you very much. Love your videos and the way you do them. That's great. My garage is full of Hot Wheels cars. Need 1-to-1 scale project. Yeah, the Hot Wheels stuff's worth a lot of money now, though. They're collectible. Is there much love for UC runners? Yes, there are. There is. I had an LC. Yeah, I like the LCs, the steel grill and everything. I actually like them also because they use the metallic vinyls in the SLs. They're not just the plain vinyls. They're more retro. Now, when I was young, LJ every time, but now I'm older, I'd prefer an LC. Are you going to paint the XC door handles? Yep. I don't like those door handles. I'm going to rummage through. I've got 3 old door handles. I'll paint them black, and I'm going to get those repro ones off. I just don't like them. Hi, mate. I saved a little 7-year-old girl from us. Oh, it's like dance studio. Wow. Australia Tyson. Yeah, that is a good thing he did. Oh, that's good. You detained the guy that did it. My gosh. Oh, and that poor kid. She'll never forget that. That's life-ruining stuff. Oh. Why do people do things like that? Wheel Deals was good until Ed China left. Anton Stead's actually a very good builder. But Wheeler Dealers, yeah, Ed China, and he was a fabricator. He's got a company called Comfy Banana, and he does like racing furniture and stuff. My grill's a knob. Kind of have to agree with that. And the overzealous, Ed, oh, Ed. And you're like, mate, come on, we know it's all BS. Can you just get to the point? But yeah, I can't agree. I don't like, yeah, people can see, and I'll tell you this, right? I'm a classroom teacher. And when I go, and I see myself as a man of average intelligence. So when I go into a classroom, I know, well, I don't know this. I'm assuming I'm smarter than half of them. But I'm also assuming that half of them are smarter than me. And so the moment you start BSing people, whether they're children or whether they're adults, they're going to see through it. And to get on TV and start acting like that, everyone's going to see through it. They know it's ridiculous. So there's no point in doing it. Yeah, the 4.1 crossbows go well, but they do understeer a little bit, don't they? They're very heavy. Marinas were the worst ones for understeer, and they only had a 2.6 litre 6 in them. I doubt they'd have been nearly as heavy as a 4.1 crossflow. Having said that, the motoring journos panned the Marina 6 for being so bad in the cornering, whereas the Cortina, I'm sure they did, but I don't remember anyone saying anything about it. LC, yeah, now they move there. 65, 6 foot large. Is it 6 foot 5? Sorry, love the LC LJ Twins, but I can't steer with my arm jammed. They got a funny position where it's like that, where your right hand's closer to the dash than your left when you're steering it. They're quite weird. Hello, 350 Munro. I didn't think I'd ever see you again, seeing there was a 4-cylinder Sigma here. 350 Munro likes V8s. Gotcha. And it's kisses Mike Brewer's ass and talks down to people. Kind of paradoxical if you're going to kiss someone on the backside and then turn around and be condescending. You wouldn't think that would work. Jared Rattray, How big is your garage? Hard to tell on the video. The garage is 6 meters wide and 10 meters long, so it's 60 square meters. I'm just setting up a new one. It's harder than you think working out how to place things. The problem with my garage is it's got a 57 Plymouth in it. That takes an awful lot of room. Yeah, the Chrysler Centura was, yeah, that was the same sort of thing with the big Hemi 6 in it. Cool bananas, mate. I will get your details when you aren't live in a few minutes. I'm in Bairnsdale, so postage won't be too bad. You tell me what the postage is. Susie and Peter Anderson at gmail.com. Susie with IE. So it's all one word, lowercase. Susie and Peter Anderson at gmail.com. And then I'll give you some details and tell me what the postage and all that sort of stuff is and what you want for them. And I'll do a bank transfer. Peter, Ford technician question. Go on. Why is it on some Ford V8s the rocker covers are painted orange? They would be, back in the day they used three colours. They used red, blue, and orange. Orange was 351 2V, which was the K-code ones in the XA and XB. XY K-codes, I think, were blue, I'm not sure. The blues were traditionally all the 4V ones in the XA, B and C. Red was on your 302s in your XA, B and C, and then XDs were all silver, and then they went to black. Cortina's a very flighty rear end. Yeah, I like Cortinas. I like a TD with a 250, the stick motor, the log motor. I had an LJ 4-door, 3 on the column with a 186 turbo Weber. The LJ, it was nuts. Yes, they did. They went really well. That's what I did on. I've had 4 LJs, and when I was younger, the first thing I did was change the inlet to a 186 S type with the Stromberg WW because the single barrel one runs out of puff at about $3.5 grand, but the WW keeps it going through with the 2-barrel. Matte Black, orange is 302, and orange is 351 2V. 302s were red, I'm pretty sure. But you know what? I don't mind if you prove me wrong. Bigger shed and more. Hang on, where is it? I've lost it. I just okayed it. I don't know where that went. Oh, bigger the shed, the more shit you end up jamming in it. Yeah, pretty much. That's why I've got to clean mine out. I've got to actually clean out the shed in the backyard and throw some stuff out so I've got room because everything in the garage I do get round to. Hello, Benny from Gosford. How are you? Hello. I don't know what that says. I can't see what that says. Something 23. Hi, Mr. Anderson. How are you? Orange was lower comp. I don't think it is. I think they're just the 2V ones, which were lower compression actually than 4Vs. Yeah. Good quality. Oh, video quality's dropped again, mate. Someone's on the Wi-Fi. Rosie, can you find out if Charlie's on the Wi-Fi? I'm doing a feed. I need him to get off. Yeah. Can you ask him to get off because I'm doing a feed and the video slowed down. How would a Barra go with like? Oh, that'd be ridiculous. A Barra in a Cortina. Can you imagine that? Oh. A gift, Peter. Oh, thank you very much. No, they won't be landfill. We'll put them on the. We'll put them on the XC and we'll make a nice mention of it. Okay. Thanks to your channel, I found Pete C's. Yes. Pete C does 1.5 videos. He kind of rambles a bit sometimes, but he's a hell of a character. And Cold War Motors, they're my favourite channel, Cold War. I'm very fond of those guys. I've got Tina with the turbo, Barra. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be behind the wheel. Didn't they have different versions of the crossflow engines? Can you maybe explain different? Oh, the crossflows. Okay, XCs were the first of the crossflow and they had a red rock cover. I don't know about orange. And XD, yeah, that was the only one. And I think, 3.3s were blue, I think, on those. And then you had your XDs, which were silver, and then they went to black. Hang on, I'm losing stuff. What have we got? Dodge SRT 10 Viper. Oh, 400 horsepower. 4,000 horsepower. Bloody hell. If you have a laying around, would you have put a gold sunroof in the XC? Yeah, I was cutting the whole thing up when I got it anyway, so I probably would have put it in. I probably would have, yeah. I'm French. Bonsoir. Coldwell's collection is insane. Yeah, his Cowell motors are very, very clever. They play it down and they muck around. The dog's there, Francis is there, and a lot of Dean mucking around and this sort of thing. But in amongst there is the most immense talent. If you really watch what they're doing, most of what they're doing is just mucking around. But if you look when he puts his mind to it, when Scott puts his mind to it, Gary's a machinist. He very rarely turns up in them. I don't think he likes being filmed. But the stuff those guys do, I mean, I'm a big fan of them. I always plug them when I get on my stuff and talk about them. I know you're busy, man, Pete. Looking forward to seeing more videos on the XD when you get around to it. The XD is at Mum's house, my Mum's house. So I've got to get it back here and do a transmission cooler because it's got an inline one I don't like it. So I've got a PWR type one to put on. Thank you very much from Ipswich. I beg your pardon. I think your videos are brilliant. Thanks very much indeed. I don't know what that means. I've just okayed it. I think it's a YouTube video. A link to a YouTube video. Barry's always a good choice. Plenty of options. And they're ridiculously strong, those things. Scott's bodywork is amazing. How he gets those, I don't know how he does it. He stretches. He's 50 hours and 60 Fury and a 61 Belvedere or something, and he sculpts metal and he does it all cold. He's an amazing bloke for what he does. I don't know anyone that can do that. That's the sort of stuff you find a coach builder does. There's not many people can do that. And he's very modest about it. He just plays it down, but he's incredible. I want to go over there and meet them, actually. My wife was trying to get me to go over there, but you can't just rock up on someone's front door. Imagine that. I know XFs are a different compression engine in New South Wales. They had tough emission standards. Oh, I've lost it again. Yeah, I don't know much about those. I used to work on them when they were new at City Ford. Keep up the great work, mate. You've inspired me to work on my 73 Fiat 127. I rebuilt a Fiat 128 engine, a four-cylinder one. Then the cam belt broke and I blew it up because it hit. 350 Honda now. If you're interested in that, I'm about to start it. Not start it, but I'm about to get back into it. I've got to take the engine off to be hydroblasted. Yeah, so the 350, I'll probably finish that in a weird way before the 750, which shouldn't happen. What do you think about Valiants? Are they worth restoring? Hell yeah. Valiants are brilliant. And again, really underrated back in the day, but people really appreciate those things now. They're amazing. I'd do a Valiant. I'd love to do one. I had a girlfriend that had a VH2 door many years ago. I recently retired from, oh, hang on. Cowell Motors crossover episode will be epic. You got to do it their way. I wouldn't mind doing one. That'd be pretty good. Yeah, I need some more subscribers too. I recently retired from mental health team. I have depressed myself. Managed with, that's an antidepressant, is that? It's good. Yeah, thanks, David. I've got, where's the one I've got? I don't like this stuff. I used Lexapro and it made me nauseous. I didn't like it. Thank you very much, XP Taste. Thanks for dropping in. And thanks for the chat. It's lovely to see you. And as with everyone. Agent, oi, oi, oi. Yeah, I love the way they call them agents. And I've got no idea. Gary's is 900 because he's a Honda 900 fan. I know why he's called 900, but I don't know why the rest of them have the numbers they do. What have we got? Yes, two Valiants. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? And the 750, and where is it? It's in the garage underneath a cover. Barra swap. Oh. God, I wouldn't want to be in that thing with a Barra. 750 is blue chip investment retirement fund. Yeah, the early ones, not so much the later ones. Mine's 78, so it's the last of the single overhead cam ones. Mine was the year before they all became double overhead cam. Bloke down the end of my street has 3 Valiant CLCM, and one's his daily drive. P76, a guy in the club's got one of those, a V8 executive one that he's done up. Oh, okay. Lexapro made me very ill. Yeah, I felt nauseous. Oh, I took it for a little bit and I just got so sick of it. Sick of feeling nauseous, and I never feel nauseous. Yeah, so okay, so the 750. So yeah, as we said before, the 250 engine we're about to rebuild on Sunday. We've got everything back. The crank, as it turns, before was assembled incorrectly. There was run out in it, and there was the timing gear was the wrong way around, so the cam chain was off at an angle apparently. So we're going to do that on Sunday. I have to get the side covers, the side covers for the motor hydroblasted and get them all cleaned up, and then that will go back in the bike probably Tuesday. And in the meantime, while I'm down there, I'll get the 350's engine done or cleaned up. I need to buy bearings for it. I'm going to put bearings through it. I might as well. I've got it all in bits. I was going to set of black ones. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much for coming. So, yeah, it's going to be back into the bikes now, and I have to get that 750 back wheel back on because I've got to move it because the MG's coming back. The Scorpion with the Cleveland. Those things. It's very, very, very easy to put V8s and Sigmas. They fit straight in, and you can put Holdens in them, you can put Ford, Clevelands and Windsors in them. Anything fits. Toneson, you're the man who found the red Sigma. Thank you very much. The only problem with that was they ended up crushing it before I was finished with it. As much as I love the old cars, I'm mindful of the lack of safety features. Have you ever had any major accidents? I did when I was young. I got T-boned in a Tirana crossing Springvale Road with a Range Rover. He went into the door. It was a two-door Tirana, LJ, and it went in behind the driver's door and pushed that rear quarter into the centre of the back seat. 1 foot up the door and I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. And, yeah, you're right. In the really inclement weather, in the rain and, at night and all this, I'd say to be in a modern car. Old school 350 Chev engine. Yeah, they're brilliant. Small block Chevys are brilliant. Absolutely insane. A friend of mine had one in an HJ Monaro, and he had fuelie heads on it, which is no big deal. He had headers on it. He had an Edelbrock. He had a Holly 750 and a big cam, and he took it to Calder. He rolled over the line at 14 flat over the 400 metres because he sheared the tail shaft going into third. So he put it up the tail shaft in, went back to Calder and did 12s. I don't know what it was. It was a low or a high 12, but it did 12s. I mean, it had minimal stuff done to it, and it flew. I had an XC 351 manual, and they all said, do you reckon it'd be as quick as that? I said, you kidding me? It'd kill it. It was pretty quick. Right, what does this say? XH panel made in very good condition, mechanically damaged the right-hand front fender. Bonnet bumper bar, not a write-off. Comes as part for repair available in Croydon. Make an offer. I don't really need one. Anything with a V8 is worth restoring. Anything that isn't a V8 is worth converting to a V8. Yeah, what about it? Well, you know what I'd like to see? Someone get a Tesla and stick a dirty old V8 in it. That'd be funny. I'd love that. I couldn't drive a car that sounded like a dishwasher. I was just about to buy a P76 back in the early 70s and still didn't buy it. The V8 one, the V8 ones, yeah, they're still available. There was one fairly cheap on Gumtree recently, I think. You look like here, I'll put this one on. Someone's told me I look like a porn star. I'm used to hearing that. Did I show you this? I showed on the other feed, but it went dead. Have a look at this photo. My son pulled it out of my passport. Can you see that? That's not a good look when you're going through customs, right? Border security be all over you like a rash. What do we got? No, it was the junction on Springvale Road. I was crossing at Dunlaven Road. I was crossing Springvale Road in Donvale. I think my Mini would accept it. Yeah, the Mini, the best Mini I've seen is what they're doing on Bad Obsession. Mexican Jesus. I used to get called, I had a goatee too. I used to get called Jesus. Hello, Pete. I have a 75 Holden Sandman with a bit of work, 454 big block in it. Whoa, forward 9-inch out, disc rear end, and a tricked. Yeah, that would go slightly well. That sounds gorgeous. You keep that. A Sandman, there's money in the bank, those things. That's a great car to have with an old school big block rat motor in it. You can't go wrong. Grow the hair out. I had long hair. Actually, I needed a haircut recently. I need another haircut now, but it was good. All the girls used to come up to me whenever I went out and play with it because it was really thick, and they always used to say, I wish my hair was as good as yours. God, that was my 20s. That's a long time ago. Jonathan W. has a Plymouth Lancer 1961 on his channel, which is the same as our S-Series Valiant. Ah, I didn't know that. He's got running with a slant 6 and push button. Such a classic. Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? I'm thinking of the SCR and the STVs here. They're beautiful. I'd love one of those. I'd love everything. I can't. I've got no money and I've got no space. Oh, hello, Owen. How are you? Watching from Vietnam. Enjoying the chat. Thank you very much for joining us, Owen. If it goes a bit funny, it's because I've got dodgy internet and the camera will probably get juddery. Thank you, Frank. That's a nice thing to say. A long hair until recently cut off because the weird attention I was getting from the wrong sort of. You're right. And I'll tell you this. I've got a friend, Shane Finity. And I don't see him all that often. I used to see him a lot when we were younger, but you know, life gets in the way. And Shane's a car head as well. And he had really long hair. His was more a mullet, though. It was sort of short at the top. But he did say something that I still think of now. And he said, the longer your hair gets, the less respect you get. That's right. The longer your hair is, the less respect you get. The less people take you seriously. I think it's brilliant. Are you going to do any audio vids? Was the last one disaster in terms of views? You get known for doing one thing. Yeah. Tech Moan. Yeah, he's kind of untouchable. Do you know what I mean? And I started watching him and I thought, I can do that, but I can't. And I don't know as much as he does. And he puts a lot of research into it. Tech Moan's the benchmark for that sort of stuff. And I've got a beautiful Samsung receiver here and all this sort of stuff. I know my way around old computers and I was doing those. And I was going to do another one of those, but I've got to be in the mood because otherwise I just get frustrated. And cars for me are very easy. The cars I do, they're just no-brainer. But the other stuff, you always get people on there. I don't know. You don't get the views. I get a lot of car views, well, a few car views, but I don't get the computer ones or the audio ones. Any intention to do more bikes after the 750's finished? I've got a Honda Z or Amigo. What is it? The QA50 I've got to clean up. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to do the Plymouth, and I've got to revisit the XW with I want to put power steering on that and that sort of thing. So I'll just see how it goes. Oh, the MG, I just saw that. I've got to cut the rear quarters out and put new quarters on that. You may have answered this. Are you planning to keep the MG? Yeah, I've had it. What happened to the garage retirement? No. That's coming back. I think that's what you mean. That's coming back from Raymakers because they've sold the workshop. It's been living there for a couple of years. No, it was at Mum's for a couple of years. It's been there for about 12 months. So that's coming back soon. The XL250, no, that's all right. I've said before, we've got the bits. We're putting it together on Sunday. So I've got all these new bits to go in it. They found a few things wrong with it too, which wasn't stuff I did. It was stuff somebody else did, which sounds like the standard way of trying to park out of something. But no, the crankshaft was pressed together incorrectly before. Weird. Dealt with a lot of Arabs and I found it was the opposite. Mind you, also chopped my beard off. Okay. Hello, Peter from Derbyshire. Haha, an Englishman. I've driven all around England when I was younger. My family are all from England, but they're from Manchester or Lytham, St Anne's well, further up north. Been expecting you. 76 Kingswood, what do you think about it? Beautiful. 76 would either be an HJ or an HX. Could be an early HX. I love them. Problem with HX is they strangle the crap out of the motors with their 27A nonsense, but they're a great car. I would love to do an HZ because I had one. Okay, hang on, where are we going? Tech Mode is boring. Try watching X-Ray Tony. I like Tech Mode. He researches. He seems to know his stuff. No, I'm drinking water. Have you seen Uncle Tony's Garage? Mopar Pervert. Lots of good info. I'll have to give it a go. There's so much I haven't seen. I don't normally sit here and watch. I normally get there. I've got to go. Thank you, Stephen, for coming. But before I do, could you repeat the email? All right. You may be able to help with a couple of things for your email. Wow. Okay. The email is Susie and Peter Anderson. Right. Yes. It's all lowercase. Susie is SUZIE. So Susie and Peter Anderson at gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Hopefully one day XCs will have the aftermarket support like the XYs. It's because of the GTs. GT's at Fairmont Interiors, so get all your interior stuff because they're all the same. What I found disconcerting is no one does aftermarket for the Sigma. You can get the guards, that's about it. That's only because people have little turbo ones that are worth something. But yeah, the aftermarket support's great, but bear in mind, aftermarket parts don't always fit. So sometimes you're better off with the original ones. Look at the door handles. I hate them. And I dropped $340 on a set of 4 door handles, and I'm ready to bin them. I'm building a 383 stroker. Hi, Charlie. I'm building a 383 stroker for a 67 Impala. What would good carby choice for a 383? Probably a 750. I wouldn't have a carburetor. But a lot of that depends on the heads, the camshaft you're using, the exhaust, where you want the power to be. If you want it low and mid-range for sort of just cruising, or if you want it up the top, that'll go into your intake manifold choice, your ignition. There's all sorts of things. For a streeter that you're using a lot of low and mid-range, I'd just go 750. That's just my opinion, though. That sort of thing, I use Speedworks and Ringwood for my machining. I just have to think about the name of it. Guy, there's Tony. Tony is a wealth of knowledge for stuff like that. Speedworks and Ringwood. Yeah, engine builders. Okay, what do we got? Yay for Sundays in the shed. Hey, Pete. Yep, you got it. I had to go to one of those 4-barrel replacement self-tuning air fire kits. Thinking of putting one on the Clevo. No, the one that I liked was Firetech. That was the one I was impressed with because all the EFI stuff is contained in a thing that looks like a Holly. All the ECU and everything. So there's minimal additional wiring. They've got O2 sensors in it, so they've got that self-learn for the ideal mixture, 14 to 7 air fuel, and that sort of stuff. But the Firetech was the one I was going to go for. But sometimes with old cars, you want to have the old carby. I know this probably sounds wrong, but I like the old carbies because that's where your characteristics come from when you go to start them and when they're cold and that sort of stuff. It's kind of endearing looking old car. In a daily driver, it's a pain. For a daily driver, it can be fuel injection anyway. The Firetech was the one. Have a look at them. It's a good looking kit. And they did a comparison between that and 750 on a 350 Chev, and the Firetech made more power, and they didn't even tune it. They just put it on, and it did what it had to do. And they got annular discharge and everything. They're really good. Nick's Garage, I don't know it. We'd love to get hold of a 68 XT Fairmont V8 and resto. The guy I started my trade out with, he used to do all the cars for St John's Church in Mitcham, and they had some beautiful cars. Mine was an XT Fairmont, mint condition, mint with a 289. It was a beautiful car. Haven't spoken to Jason Hill. Jason comes and goes. He's been just busy with his bodywork and all that sort of stuff. I think he was taking a week off work or something just to get it knocked out. But he's pretty much, I think he's finished with the rust repairs. I haven't spoken to him now. I've got to text him. Hello, Harvey. How are you? Good to see you on the live feed. Aren't we Aussies glad we spent $55 billion on Superbus NBN? That's why I'm still using Optus cable, Harvey. I'll go to NBN when I absolutely have to. In other words, when I turn the computer on, there's no internet, I'll ring them up then. My mate is looking at a Camry Hybrid 2017, 50,000 Ks. Any thoughts? Was one of the last Aussie ones. Don't know much about them. The only thing that scares me about hybrids is the batteries after about 8 years need replacing, and they can be quite expensive. But I don't know anything about them. Do you like XF Fairmont gear? Yeah, I used to work on them when they were new. They're nice cars. XFs. And with the electronic dash. I love those 80s electronics. They look great. The VK Calais, I haven't seen one of those dashes in years. I used to love those. Do you have any XD parts? I've got a whole car. I don't really have any spare parts, I don't think. I've got a guard hanging up in my garage that I got for $10. And I've got an XE steering wheel somewhere. That's just hanging up in the garage. It's probably rotted by now. But no, I don't really have any spares for them. Vintage Japanese can be punishing in terms of spares. Yes, absolutely. Did up a 83 Subaru for a mate. Difficult to find bits. Same as my Cracker Jeep Z550. Absolutely. I get that. The Honda, the old Honda stuff, you can find parts everywhere. But the Kawasaki's, Honda, and Suzuki's and so forth are more difficult. There seems to be a bit of support for XJs, for Yamahas. Yeah, spare parts can be a problem. Even a guy selling, here we go, Sigma radio, $100 on eBay for an AM radio. And I just thought, yeah, I'd love it, but no, I'm not dropping $100 on that. Why manual in the XC over auto? It was made a manual. It was a factory 302 4-speed with air conditioning. GXLs had power steering and 4 discs. What it had air conditioning, a long-range fuel tank. It was a bit of a hamburger with a lighter side. The only two things it didn't have to make it an absolute full house was a 351 from factory and a sunroof. But I put it in because, and the manual gearbox, John from Old School sold me, and it's a number correct XB GT one. It's a close ratio one. So I was like, oh. Even though I don't enjoy driving close ratio as much as wide ratio, the sort of wide ratio is better and for just day-to-day, I think, but it's good to have it. Hang on, what am I up to? Hang on. I've got a 67 US Sports Coupe, much cheaper than the Oz versions. I don't know which one that is. Is that the Subi's talking about? Hi, Peter. Would you consider an early 90s Civic or good? Is it? Yeah. The Japanese stuff's really good because it goes together. The Hondas are more complicated, though. They're kind of over-engineered in some ways, particularly when you start getting to VTEC and all this sort of stuff. But I don't know much about them. We used to work at White Horse Motors on the Rover 416i, which was an Integra, and they were a great car. They were a really great car, a 1600 engine, and geez, they were good. The Japanese make great stuff. You can't go wrong with them unless you buy a weird one or something. But even the, you know, all the stuff I've worked on, Nissan either made great stuff or not so great. No one liked the N13 Bluebirds, but I bought one of those and it was a brilliant car. 200 SXs, gorgeous cars, but then they made things like Nissan Nomads. It's like, what are you doing? Here we go. I'm getting called gay now. Apparently I'm gay. Hang on a second. When you sprayed the fuel tank on the XC, what colour was it? Was it acrylic? Yeah, it was an acrylic with clear coat. It's Mitsubishi Gentile Silver. I use Mitsubishi Gentile Silver for every silver thing I paint. It looks great on the Ford V8 air cleaners on the XDs, and it looks great on wheels. It's got a bluish kind of hue to it, and the other thing is you can drop black on it, and you can make it like a light gunmetal colour, or you can pull it right down like a gunmetal. You can do, it's a great colour. It's called Gentile Silver, Gentille, I think, or Tile, I think it is. It's a great colour. That's what I used on the fuel tank. $100 for a Sigma radio. I'm off to pick up tomorrow. That, if they've got one at Pickabat, I'm going there, because if it's the red one you're talking about, it was crushed. Who's Beer Pillar? Gay. I have plenty of XF parts on tap, and I made most of them for scrap metal 10 years ago. Yeah, you'll find XFs. Okay, I think Mr. Beer Pillar can go. What do you reckon? We get rid of him? There could be gay people here that don't like that sort of thing. Let's just remove it. I should have just... Why do people... How do I do this? Oh, I'll just report. There you go. Yeah, I don't really... I'm not in the mood for that sort of stuff. Now, where are we? Oh, hang on, where am I? I have plenty of exit. Yeah, okay, I've had that. $100. Yeah, ridiculous. Hi, Pet. It depends on which version of NBN you have in your area. FTTN is rubbish. Let's take a photo of that because I know nothing about it. And if I'm just going to take a photo of your comment because I want to make sure I get the right one. Cool. Thanks for that. I need advice. Oh, that's all right. Beer Pillar is saying sorry. Oh, hang on. Sydney Pickabat. Oops, agree with the batteries. Camry shouldn't be, or should be a safe bet as a family car. My mate's parents had a 1988 SB21. Yeah, they're brilliant cars. And the funny thing with the SB21 is the four-cylinder one went. There was no point to getting a V6 one. The four-cylinder ones were just as quick and just marginally not as smooth, but they're a better car. Really love the Sigma. Sorry, watched every episode. What's next? Motorbikes. We've got to finish the bikes. Pinch apart. No, we don't pinch apart. Oh, it's a lottery, is it? Oh, well, at least I know what's coming then. Thanks for your advice. G'day from Michigan. Hello, my motorbike's from New York. Well, it's Wisconsin, so it's not Michigan, but I think it's the next state, isn't it? That's where my 750's from. Broady. Oh, a place in Broady. Yeah, I know what that is. That's a good place. They did a lot of Ford stuff there. All right, here we go. Hi, Pete. Love all the videos as always, even while I'm here holidaying in Bali. Good on you. No, you don't pinch apart. Okay, what does it say? Can you hug my channel? I'm a new YouTuber from the Philippines, and it's been retracted, so I think I'll leave that retracted. Adrian Mifsud. Are you related to Rowan Mifsud? I went to school with a guy called Rowan Mifsud and became a policeman. Check on the NBN website which version's available in your area. Oh, okay, good. I will do that. Do you have a brother or a cousin? How are we going? We got 110 people here. That's a bloody good turnout. What are the best matches? Redheads? Oh, man, redheads, mate. Got to be redheads. No relation. No. What about the red car? What's happening with it? The Plymouth, I'm assuming you mean? It's just sitting there. I start it every now and then, and it's got to go and have its trim done. So the first thing I have to do is rip the front and rear bumpers off it. I need to speak to Scott to ask him about, because I want to change the body mounts. Because the guy that restored it did a beautiful job, but he ran out of money, and then he put all the old mounts back in. So he set up all the shut lines on the old body mounts. So I've got new body mounts to put in, but I'm going to have to pull the front and rear bumper off, and I might have to take the front clip off as well. Because even though I've got to jack it up a centimetre just to slot them in, it's going to be a pain in the neck. Question about the 351 building, and I don't see an area where I can send a message. Send it to my email, susieandpeteranderson@gmail.com. Susie and Peter Anderson is all one word, it's all lowercase, and it's SUZIE for Susie. So susieandpeteranderson@gmail.com. How's the MG coming along? It's not. It's just sitting at Raymaker's Workshop. I drove it last Christmas, and the time before that was the Christmas before, when we did all the engine bay up. And that car is coming back here in August or September, when they get they've sold the workshop. So the guy, his settlement, I can't remember what it is. That's when it's coming home. I don't know what that is. That's another spammy thing. Hey Pete, you might want to set up a new account specific for YouTube stuff, so your personal account doesn't get in. You know what? I have a personal email. The Gmail one's my Google one, so you can use that. I'm not too worried about that. My personal one, I use a different one for personal stuff. I've got 3. I've got a work one too, and I don't tell anyone that one. You need to do a Cortina TF. I've already thought of that. But finish it, the US spec interior, far superior to the Aussie spec, in my honest opinion. I wanted to do one of them with the waffle wheels with a 6-cylinder, because Dad wanted one of those before we bought the Sigma. The Sigma we got because Mum could see out of it. She couldn't see out of the Cortina. But I wanted to get one. I'd like to get one of those because TF Cortinas they're a reasonable price. Are Fords better than Holdens? No, I don't think so. A lot of people here wouldn't agree with that, but I don't think they are. I think they're all good. It's a pity we haven't got any of them now because they bloody shut them all down. I wouldn't mind a cup of tea. I mean, how long have we been on for? Oh, an hour. Should I go and have a cup of tea? I think I might. I'm going to go and boil the kettle, and I'll be back in a sec. I'll just leave it here. Just bear with me. I've got to go and put it on. And I've run out of tea bags. And a guy sent me, and this is my emergency stash. There's none left in the box. So he gave me, these are the Yorkshire ones that I use. And it's quite strong now. You can actually get proper strong Yorkshire tea, so I dread to think how strong it is, because I reckon that's good. Smoko? Yeah, it's time to smoke over. I'm going to go and put the kettle on. I really need tea. So bear with me. I'll be 5 minutes. No, I'll be 1 minute. Just a minute. Oh, I need a cup of tea. Well, can you do me a favour? Can you put the kettle on? All right, and tell me it's done because I put the sugar in. All right, so the my daughter said, because she's watching my daughter's watching this movie, or both my daughters are watching this movie, and it's a tense scene, and all I do is go in the kitchen and stick the kettle on, and it annoys everybody. So she's said she put it on for me. I'll bet she doesn't. But anyway, Rosie, your dad, no. Yeah, I think that was you saying that stuff last time. Yorkshire tea is awesome. I used to have Lipton, but I can't. I don't like it now. Tea and some wheat. So anything some mean yucca. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I'll take your word for it. All we get from Ford and Holden today, SUVs, crap and unit. Yeah, I know. It's not like it was. You are an effing classic. Thanks, mate. You should try Aldi. You know what? We've got LDT here, and I don't like it, but it might not be the stuff you're talking about. Rosie has got this propensity to steal my tea, and so I said to her, "Here's your own box," and I gave her the stuff Susie bought from Aldi, and I'm trying to. No, Bruce, it's Susie. Yes, that's right, but there's no space between and Peter, and Susie spelled with an IE. I'll show you that. Yeah, it is still. Yeah, is it called Smoko? Yeah, absolutely. Smoko is when you go out for a cigarette and a drink or whatever. It's just another way of saying break. We call it recess at school. You can't say, righto, kids, time for Smoko, because you get all the parents calling you. I'm surprised New Zealand slang is on. What's the New Zealand slang? Do they say Smoko? Oh, hang on. You said something before, didn't you? Sorry, I'm a bit vague. Some mean yucca to munch on. Yeah, I kind of get it, I suppose. Americans don't understand that slang. We Australian, there's so much slang in our language. For the XW, what do steering box in terms of reconditioning? I'm going to pull it out, throw it, and put an XABC one. I'll retrofit it. It means I've got to cut a hole or drill a hole in the chassis tube and put a crush tube in, weld it in, which means it should be engineered, really. But I'm going to put an XABCDEF steering box in with the... I'll try and get an old Thompson pump. The pump has to look right. But yeah, I'm going to do that. Project after the Sigma, we're finishing the bikes, the 350 and the 750. Just because I have to move them to get the MG back in. God, I'm going to be in a panic with room, but what do you do? And I've got to do some bodywork on the MG as well. But I like it. I like being busy out there because it's stress. I don't even think about it. You do the Sigma. It's supposed to be a quick job, right? So then I started pulling stuff off and I found some rust or evidence that there was rust nearby, so I kicked the screens out. And I thought I could have welded this. So I must have pulled the interior out. Well, I'm pulling the interior out, I might as well pull the wiring out. I ended up with a bare shell. And it just went together like Meccano or Lego. You know, it was just so easy. It was so easy. It was ridiculous. It was just fun. Everything on that thing was fun. The only thing that was a pain was my fault because when I painted the 2-pack ISO free around the windows, it argued with the acrylic that I put above it later when I decided to paint it because I wasn't going to paint it at that stage. And also somebody else's painted used some sort of different paint on the side. So that was the only thing, and that wasn't the car's fault. The English understand all those nuances. Yes, that's because we have a lot of slang based on yours. Try active power steering for the Thompson pump. I want an early Thompson, and there's also the one that I actually want isn't the Thompson, because Ford used the Thompson on the XABC, and then they went to a Thompson 2 with a plastic body on the XD and on, and they turned up again in the EB, EF, EL, V8s and AUs and that sort of thing. The early ones on the Galaxies were an Eaton pump, and I think I'd like one of those on the XW. Sorry, I got that wrong. That was my fault. You know, we have wealth of knowledge because of you. Yeah, well, I get my knowledge from people like you too. I know my work. They're simple cars. You know, if you gave me a modern car with, I'd probably find my way around it, but nowhere near as easily. It would be much more complicated. What happened to it? I love to see me learn a lot from your build for my own projects. Thank you very much. We've got a Russian person saying something. I don't understand what that says. I can go Google Translate. It probably says you're a bit of a cock, Peter. I'm not sure. Can I Google Translate? What has this guy said? Hang on. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what he said. Hang on. Translate. I just want to see what he says. Hang on. It says, come on, hurry up. Oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, doesn't matter. Who cares? Have you ever thought of doing a custom job or similar fashion to Musty One? It's no. It depends what it is. Musty One, I used to watch a lot of Musty One, and he does a lot of fabricating with bikes, like push bikes, putting 50cc motors in and stuff like that. He got a Cushman police sort of parking meter truck, and he put a cage on the back of that. I just don't want stuff like that. I'm more interested in original looking old cars. That, to me, that's more desirable. I don't mind making stuff up as I go along, but generally that would be on things like the engine stand, which I made that up as I went along. I took a basic design cue from the Easy Run engine stand that Sam Amolo was peddling, or at least advertising, I should say. I like fabricating stuff like that, and, you know, building shelves in the garage that are for certain things, or, you know, that sort of thing. But the cars, I'm a bit of a purist, even though they're not original. Like the Sigma's not original. I don't care, but it looks original. The XC's not. There's XC's made from about 20 different cars, but it looks like it could be original. It's not even an XC color, but it didn't bother me. The fact that it has to look right is enough for me. Do you know what I mean? But to get a car and then customize it, I don't trust myself in terms of style, being able to style it really well. Because to me, Chip Foose once said something. He said, I want people to look at the car and admire it and not know I've been there. And I like that attitude. You might see something different on a step side or something like that, F100, and just think, but there's something different about it. I like that sort of thing, but I'm not talented enough to do it. Hello, Tobus. How are you? Lovely to see you. Okay. Have you ever... Oh, yeah, I've just read that one. Mike Hunt, stop spamming your damn BS. I didn't even see it. You should do a VL. I had a VL, and it was a Berliner manual, and I bought all the Calais front stuff brand new, and the taillights and the rear garnish brand new, and I put it on so it looked like a Calais, but it was a 5-speed manual. And it had been to HDT. My brother bought the car new, and it went to HDT to have... It had the wheels with the discs in the middle. You could take off the... I can't remember what they're called now, with the HTT things on it. Had done up suspension, a turbo exhaust, and a lathe. Beautiful car, and I sold it. And then I looked on the Vic Roads Rego check, and it was stolen in 2003. VLs are great. You know, I love VL Commodores. I reckon they're fantastic cars. This bullshit has been reported to YouTube. I didn't see what it was. What were they doing? Okay. Oh, was that the Dodge Ram thing? Yeah, a nice BL Calais. When I was young, I took that car into a car yard in Blackburn, and they had a Calais Turbo that was a Series 2 there, and it was 28 grand, and they would give me 18 for mine at the time. They said it was a $10,000 changeover, which means the Calais was 25 and they're going to give me 15 probably. But I love those cars. I really, really like them. I think they're tremendous. And I never liked the Commodores after that, even though I've got one, because the BB to VL was a great size. It was a perfect size car. They were lovely. You could teach more at trade school than what they do right now. Well, the trade schools are different because they've got to do modules. Trade schools are part of the TAFE setup, which is Cert 3 apprenticeship stuff, and they're very, very, very closely monitored by the AQTF, is it? And they get audited every year to 2 years. It costs the TAFE college 20 grand to get audited, so they've got to pay for these guys to come in and audit them. I know that because we're an RTO at my work. I don't teach in there. There's 3 senior mechanics in there, and they are just brilliant. Like, we've had mechanics there before that didn't think it was that great. These guys in there now are just fantastic, and they know a lot more than I do with a lot of this stuff, with the modern stuff. They're doing hybrids and all that sort of stuff, and CVT transmissions and all that sort of stuff, and I don't know anything about I'm more old school. I love the old school stuff. It's easy for me. Can a Coyote V8 fit into a series Falcon? Those things are huge wide, Coyotes. Probably because they haven't got shock towers in them. You have to get on the forums and have a look. Here we go. Non-mechanically motor has an AUX R6. Goes pretty well. Can be hard to start when cold. He's never done a tune-up and offered to do one with an ECU reset for him. But, yeah. Okay. When warm, I've got to try and find it. Yeah, ECU, you reckon? We used to get a lot of ECU problems in XFs because the windscreens used to leak. And all your joints and everything in the ECU would be fried. VL V8s are great. I like the turbos, but yeah, the V8s are fantastic. The 304s are strong as an ox. They're not that powerful, but you can whack them up extremely easily. This bloody VP Berliner. My brother worked for Penfolds, and that's where I bought my Commodore from. He brought home a VP Executive 5-litre mint condition, seriously mint condition with 60,000 on the clock, and I so nearly bought it. I really, really wanted that car. Stop sending 3 notifications, get you reported. Okay, we've got this again, have we? My understanding. Video and sound are slow. It happened right after you turned the kettle on. I don't think she's turned it on yet, though. Hey, Alana, have you put the kettle on? I'm going to have to go out again. I can't yell that out, though. Can you put it on? She just swore at me. Early VNs were crap. Late VNs with BP spec engines were better. You know what I hated about VNs? I hated the steering wheel. Unless it was a Calais, the steering wheel was ridiculous on them. See if it starts with more. Okay, we're talking about that. Car was not starting properly. Saw an article from Old Car Mag with chassis rail mods to fit later model XF steering to XW. Okay, we'll reference it. Not sure if the companies still exist. Yeah, I think it was just there's one bolt that doesn't line up. I haven't really looked into it, but I think 2 of the bolts, there's 3 bolts that hold the steering box on, and one of them doesn't line up. So you're drilling into one side of the chassis rail, you're drilling through both sides, but one side with a bigger hole, putting a crush tube in, putting a bolt there to make sure it's all central and just around it to weld it in. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I need to look into it, but that's what I was prepared to do. Flaming V6 engine mounts, they had oil pump gasket issues and all sorts of things. 10 frames per second. Shit. Is Charlie in there? I think he's on his Wi-Fi. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi off. Oh, sorry, Charlie. Sorry. Doesn't I just? Oh, okay. I just turned. It doesn't work because I turned it off. Sorry, Alana. Everyone's at me. Oh. Right. Is that any better? I've just turned it off. Remember the first van with the thermostat in the back of the rear, mate? Oh, yeah. I also pulled a couple of fuel tanks out of those out of Lexans when I was at Toyota. I've just turned it off. I didn't tell them. I just turned the Wi-Fi off. So hopefully it gets better. VN Commodores came out in 1988, so a late one I would assume would be in 90 or whatever, just before the VP came out. Had an X-Chaser, VP V6 was also an LPG, cost nothing to run. Is that a BP1? Is that what they call it? Or B something one? BN1. Is that the police one? 1991 got the VP. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know much about VNs and VPs. I know I like them. I like the VP. 1993 would have been VR, wouldn't it? Sorry, right, wait, Peter. That's all right. Can you do a video on how much you spent on the Sigma? I'm kind of embarrassed because I spent more than I said I was going to. I think it owes me a bit over $5,000 all up. The car, including the price of the car and everything. That being said, I thought, oh, but I had to finish it, do you know what I mean? And I also thought, you know what? If I lost money, who cares? I've enjoyed it. It's not like the Falcons where I viewed them as a lot more serious. In saying that, though, Shannon's insured for quite a lot more than that, which I was surprised about. They saw the photos of it and they said, you know what, we're going to insure it for this. It's like, oh, bonus. So, yeah, I did spend more on it. I think it was like 5,000, including purchase price. I think I'm up to 54. I think 5,600, something like that. So, yeah, I'm doing a final video on the Sigma. I've got it all in there next week. It does look nice. But when I look back, I did spend too much on the purchase price of the car. The guy sort of ripped me off, but I didn't care. I just wanted it. But also, a lot of that's come down to people like Harvey, that he built the dash from nothing, and some people have donated some stuff, and it's been really good. And the guy that did the exhaust, the tailpipe's crooked. You can't get an exhaust for them anymore, or you can if you find them afterwards, $380 or something on eBay. This guy goes, just bring it down. I'll do it for $100. He said, can I reuse the old over-axle pipe? I said, yeah, but I cut it. And when I cut it, I didn't care because I thought I could just go and get another muffler for it. So I'd cut it badly, and then I joined it, and I didn't like what I did. I did the worst welding. You can see it in the last video. And then he goes, oh, I got there and said, look, you might want to do the joint again because I really hashed it, and I didn't care. I just wanted to get it here. So I had a deadline, and I was starting to worry about time. And he put a new over-axle pipe in, new muffler, everything for $100. It's like, so the tailpipe's crooked because the muffler's off something else, but I don't care. I'll just cut it and straighten it out later. Did the Sigma's worth every penny of that? I think it is too. I don't even care, really. And the moment you turbo, it probably costs up $2,500 to do that by the time you build an engine. But then, what are you up to then? $8,000. You're going to get 10, 12, maybe even $15,000 for it. You know, it's worth doing. Did the fuel pump end up being okay on the Sigma? No, the fuel pump was stuffed, and I got a kit for it. So it's the original fuel pump housing, but I changed the diaphragm and the check valves in it. Because somebody from here actually sent me a message to say you can get them. It's like, oh, great, thanks. It was a Goss kit. I remember the TV ads for the Lexington van was advertised as being a little bit different. Instead of Calais, they were called Newport, and some of the trim was different in them. The Newport was nicer than the Calais. It had like a biscuit-coloured leather and all that sort of stuff in it, but you know, they were the same car. The best one was the Nissan Ute, which was just an XF. That was really funny. And the Holden Nova, which was a Toyota Corolla. My daughter's got one of those. They were built for American front-wheel drive, not real-wheel. What are we talking about? I don't know what it's talking about. Yeah, you need to do a TF. Oh, yeah, okay. Currently shipping my UK 1982 Mark V gear over to Sydney for my collection. Wow. We all have a car make and model we love. I bet you watch Pete C. I do, but Pete C's videos go for a long time, so I very rarely sit through them all. I watch bits of them. Pete C is very good. He's not an engine guy, but his fabrication stuff's pretty bloody spot on, and I don't think he's trained in it. I don't know what his job is. He seems like a really kind guy too. Really, really nice fella. Nissan Ute. Yeah, is that what I said, Nissan? Did I say Nissan Ute? The XF one? Remember the XF rear badge? Yeah, that was just embarrassing. Single overhead cam side oil is better than a Hemi. Oh, the side oil is single overhead cams. Revs rocking horse poo though. Nissan Ute. Yeah, the engine test sounds good, but it's huge. I made it too big. I should have made it smaller than that. Pintara. XF, yeah. I think she boiled the kettle. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to drop a couple of sugars in and I'll be straight back. Just wait there. Don't go anywhere. Wait. Oh, oh my God. I won't be long. Probably give me 20 minutes. I just had to no, because it's slowing down. I'm back, and look at this. I've got water, which I don't like, and I got tea, which I do. And if John Lawton sees this, I've still got my tea bag in. He tells me up all the time. Oh, my nose is itchy. Right, where are we? Apollo versus. Do you remember the wide body cameo they did, and everyone went nuts about them because it depicted a pregnant woman's stomach? Everyone went nuts on it. Matthew, yes, XC videos are coming in the spring. What are we now? June, July, nearly July. So July and August, I'm going to finish the bikes off. And then we're back in the XC. I've got to paint the bloody boot. I haven't done it yet. The trunk and the front guards. And then we're nearly out of it. We're nearly finished the XC. It's just the money. I've got to watch what I spend, and I've spent heaps on that car. But I don't care because it's worth it. Do you know what I mean? Lindsay, my XW Futura 351. Wow, that's unusual. He's nearly ready for Starlight Blue paint. That is a gorgeous colour. And I've watched your XW Revo a few times, and I'm more confident to finish myself. Easier looking back at your build. That I finished in 2015. That's a while now. And there are some things I would have done differently. Not much, though. Pintaras had terrible diff issues. They used to let go at the drop of a hat. The Skylines and Pintaras had shocking vibrations in the tail shafts, too. And you do a tail shaft, or a two-piece tail shaft, and if you got it out of phase, they were a headache. That's my video. You're looking a lot. Yeah, I do like the comments, but I do find them confusing. I've got these glasses. Maybe I should put these ones on. I've got like 5 pairs. Oh, that's a bit better. Okay. The button plan, yes. That was Senator Button with all the badge engineering stuff. They'll be highly collectible one day. Maybe. Do you know anyone who can machine wheel offsets on some wheels? Not really. I've been sort of big brake kit on the XA while using hub adapters. What I did with the Galaxy, I put a BF Falcon disc brake front on it because it was all drum. And the Galaxy had steel 15-inch wheels and they riveted at least to hit the calipers. So I ended up using EFEL ones, rims. That's what I did. And then put the Galaxy hubcaps on top. I got out of that easy, but I don't know anyone that can machine them. You can ask an engineering joint. There's one in Bayswater. I can't remember what it's called though. Love the XW build. That was a sort of benchmark, wasn't it? That seems to be the one that I've done that's the most popular. What small gravity gun do you own for touch-ups? I just bought one from Milsom's. You can buy touch-up gravity-fed guns online for $20 or something. I ordered 2 of them, never got them. Went to Milsom's, paid a bit more, paid a lot more, because it's a much better gun and it's fantastic to use. It's a lovely little gun. It cost me like $120 or something. But it comes in its own case. It comes in a couple of different nozzle kits. It's a really, really good gun. But Milsom's in Country Gully. U12 Pintara Super. KA24s went really well in them. They went really well in the U12. Which was it, the U12? Yeah, because the U13 was the round one, wasn't it? That was the Bluebird. I love all that old stuff. 90 stuff's coming in now. You don't have to read this out. Oh, okay. But thank you for your videos. You're an inspiration. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mark. That's nice to hear. I like the U12s. I like the hatch too. Getting blood out of a stone. Even McDonald's are quicker. I know. What do you do? You must be the one with the power to overpower your wife on the bed, man. I can show Matt's one. What do you say? Fuck yeah. Cheers, Ben. That's all right. Thanks, Matt. SP is cheeky. KA24 was in the barrow too. KA24, they twin cammed it and stuck it in the Bluebird and that went like a cut cad. They were great. They were really good. I had a TI which had the sunroof. You get the Triple S that had the heads-up display. And when you see them advertised, they've all got 400,000 Ks. They've turned out to be cracking cars. They're really, really good cars, but they didn't sell. Nissan made some bloody great stuff. Yes, exactly. Just poorly marketed, but their cars were great. N14 Pulsars, great cars. N13s weren't so good. They were the one with the GM Family 5 engine. But if you looked after them, the crankcase breather used to block on them. They had two little springs on the gear shift that used to break, so the gear shift would flop around. They had all these sorts of things, but if you looked after them, you knew how to look after them. They were a bloody good car too. Someone just left. Night, Pete. Thank you very much, Ramon. That's wonderful. Thanks for coming. My dad had a UC Holland Sunbird SLE hatchback from you. That would be worth a bloody fortune now. Opal 1.9, that would be a Backfire 4, wouldn't it? Sorry, Starfire. Which died and replaced with a Starfire. Oh, no, it wasn't. It's different. I beg your pardon. Until Mum wrote it off. Yet to see another one. You used to see Neil McClymont comes on here every now and then. Neil's a GT guy, and his mum, I remember when he was 13, his mum had a Sunbird, an auto, and he couldn't get it to do a burnout up the driveway, so he used to wet the driveway and the tyres first to get it to spin the wheels. It was pretty funny. I got the Cup of Greg, and it's not my usual one. This one's got like those things on it. I don't know what they are, but I still have a tea bag. So John Lawton, if you see this, I'm being naughty. Misfire, yeah, they called them misfires. Like XT130s, they were in the Coronas. Yeah, that's right. Backfires, misfires, they were all sort of. They were just a 2850 with two cylinders locked up, but the 2850 Holden motor, the 173, was a bloody good engine. In a lot of ways, better than the 202. And I loved them as 173s, but I didn't like them as Starfires. For spray guns, visiting our local, we usually have cheap guns on offer. For instance, my cheap touch-up gun, $100 from the paint shop, is better than my second hand. Yeah, guns are, yeah, a good gun's worth it. And it's you're going to have a touch-up gun for. I mean, the last one I had was an eBay bodgy one. I had that for 10 years, and I just threw it out because it completely packed up. About the hoist from Raymakers, yes, I did, but Raymakers, I haven't got the height. I did see the message. My garage is too low. I couldn't fit it in. N13, yeah. N13s were good cars. You just had to do a bit of maintenance on them, just crankcase breathers and stuff. They had a couple of earths on the cylinder heads too that used to, well, one of them, I think, used to play up, I'm not sure. Used to get the odd code in them where the N14 never got codes or anything like that. Backfire 4. Not the Yorkshire stuff. I got the Yorkshire stuff. I showed you that. Look. Can you see that? Yorkshire Gold. I love the stuff. There's a Datsun stands and Triple S advertised. It was like $4,000 or something. I thought that wouldn't be bad. Oh, come on, 350 man. I'm going to have to show that. You've been naughty. I pity anyone who's poor enough to have to suffer through 4 and 6 cylinder shit piles. Come on. How good. You know what? You're probably not going to like this. Sometimes some of the most fun cars to drive are the slow ones. A guy at work said that, and he's dead right. They're just, I don't think it matters, because these days you go over the speed limit, the cops take your car for 30 days. 2 cars to a BMC motor made the blue streak. It certainly did. We had an N13 in the early 90s. Only if it was the ECM. Yeah, they were big for that, and the Memcal used to bugger up in them too. Astra Camaro Pulse and VP. Oh, Dado 121. Never wanted a Dado 121. There's nothing wrong with them. Kevin, enjoy your tea, mate. I haven't got merchandise yet, no. Holden 173 is the best engine to replace the Land Rover's 360. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. 173 is a road bust. You can cane him all day. Air compressor for painting. Don't get anything under 200 litres per minute free air delivery. If you see them advertised with 20 CFM and oil ball, you don't need to worry about it. That measurement's no longer valid, really, cubic feet per minute. You're looking at free air delivery in litres per minute. And don't go below, look, I wouldn't go below 200 for using a gun. Yeah, I will do merchandise. I've got to get some money together to get a whole lot of T-shirts printed and cups and mugs and all this sort of stuff. I just haven't got around to doing it. Some people have done, one guy did some really nice artwork. It was Ford Workshop manual on an XW with my XW on the front in line art, if you know what I mean. Really nice. I just never got around to doing it. Stickers are another thing. I can do stickers. I've just got to get around to doing all this stuff. I just haven't got to it yet. What have we got? Love it to bits. EA Fairmont. I loved it. When I first saw the EF, I thought it was hands down the most handsome Ford I've ever seen. I thought it was beautiful. More so than an EL, because I never liked the EL grill much. Yeah, I will do some shirts and stickers and stuff. I just got to get around to doing it. There are places online you can set up an account and they do it for you, but they take most of the profits, and I want to make some money out of it because it's a lot of setting up, I would think. Yeah, I could do DVD compilations. Yeah, and you know what? I thought about doing 1 hour DVDs or 1 hour sort of breakdowns of each gun, because the XC's got 50 videos on it. It's ridiculous. So just a like summary in 1 hour from when we got the car to when it was finished. I should do it on the Sigma because I finished the Sigma now. Where are we up to? EAs with the 4-speed. That was the 95 LE transmission. They went from the old Borg one, I think it was a 55 then, to the 85 or 95 LE, and that's what I did a trade school thing on that, or a Ford school thing on that. Yeah, I could get the kids to, but you can't get the kids to do work. There's a stick on in our mustache. There's a guy who's a maths teacher called Eddie Wu, and he's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and he films in his classroom. You don't see the kids, but you see him at the board teaching. He's a mathematics teacher, and I don't know how he goes in terms of payment with Google AdSense when he's at school. I don't know if he'd be allowed to claim it. Yes, the 2-litre Pinto was sold here. So all your Cortinas, unless you got a 1600, would have been a Kent, but most of the Cortinas were Pintos. That was the only car they were in, though. I don't think Pintos were in anything that came out here. Not Capris or anything, because the Capris we had were the early ones, and they had the Cologne V6. Hang on, which one was it? Which one's the V6, the 3-litre one? The Cologne, then they had the other one. Was the Cologne the later 2.8? I can't remember, but none of the. I think the 4-cylinder Capris had Kents in them. I don't think they had Pintos. What have we got here? I spent ages Googling, but would rather just ask someone who's done it. I'm having a go at spray painting. It's an XY metallic color. Is it correct that I don't sand metallic paint coat? So you would lay the metallic down, then you clear it. And then you wet sand your clear coats, between coats if you want to. I never actually bothered doing it. I just basically pile on about 4 coats of clear, wet sand them with 1000 to get the orange peel out, then hit it again with 2000, then buff it. That's all I did. And it's probably the wrong thing to do because I'm not a painter, so don't take my word for it. But yeah, you don't wet sand a metallic that hasn't had a clear on it, because when you paint metallics, you look at your wet edge, you're sort of coming back like that, then you're coming back over to create your wet edge. You'll end up with stripes in it. So your last coat's a random coat, so that all the metallic falls and it's dead smooth. Then you clear it. SX, yes. Cologne was the later one. That's right. SX was the one we had. The Colognes came later, I think. Yes, I forgot. The SX is the earlier one. And they're a lot heavier, I think, a lot bigger, the block. I can always say no. Yeah, I know what you mean. Scorpion. Laser engine. Capri's had the laser engine. No, that was Mazda engine, wasn't it? But we'll do 1 coat of thinners over the top to flatten it. Yeah, I've heard of that. There's all sorts of painting tricks. I'm not a painter, so I can't sort of share them. I can only tell you what I do from asking painters. How are we going? I might have to go in a minute. It's 1 minute, 1 hour, 40 minutes. Have fun, Pete. Looking forward to the bike build videos. I'm off for the night. Good on you. Thank you very much for coming. That's really kind of you to be here. We might call it a night. What time is it now? 25 to 10. Yeah, so we've got a bit more coming up. We've got the XL250 on Sunday. See you later. Thank you very much for coming. You just got here. Oh, I'll stick around for a few minutes. Have a good one, and good on you, mate. Thanks very much. In the XW boot, you get all the underbody dinner off, or did you paint go over some of it? In the boot, I took it off. I took it off because it had Falcon 500 badges there, and when we welded it in, it messed with it, and I couldn't match it properly. I didn't want to match it properly, so I just took it all off, and I didn't bother putting it back on. The XC I left though. I didn't touch that. I just painted over it. The later Capri laser, that was the later Capri. We didn't get them here in Australia. The one that looks like it's in the professionals. Thanks very much, Aussie John. That's wonderful to see you. Thanks, Charles. Everyone's ditching. Ciao for now. See you later, Lindsay. Thanks very much for coming. So, Sunday, XL250 engine. So there'll be a video on that. I've got some video called Revisiting the XL because we never actually finished it. We got it going, but it wasn't right. And yeah, then we're into the 350 Honda. Then there's the last Sigma video, which will be on these holidays. And yeah, we'll just be finishing up the 2 Honda 4-cylinder bikes. And then we're going to be into the XC. I need to get that finished because the XC will be 4 years this year. And it was supposed to be 2. Who's ever had to do an R&R on a Mazda Tribute Dash? Oh, yeah, they're not fun. And look, R&R on a XC Dash is a pain too, but the Sigma is really easy. So if you want to do an easy, cheap car, do one of those. They're very, very easy to do. Thank you, Tony. Good to see you. It's lovely that all these people come. I had 100, over 110 before. We're down to 70 now, so I might have to ditch. I'm getting tired and I'm probably starting to talk crap too. Love your vids and chats. Keep up the great work. Off for a lunch meeting. Good on you, Tony. Lovely to see you. Yeah, it's good. I love it when people come and do this. I might do one every holidays. So yeah, lots and lots coming up. Just got to also save up a bit of money because the XC is going to be expensive. So nothing comes cheap on that. But you know what? It's worth spending the money on it because you can't really lose on one of them unless you spend 100 grand. Well, I'll get to one. I'll do another couple of minutes. See you later, Philip. Good to see you. I think we might have to ditch now. And yeah, see you, Phil. So I think we'll leave it there. Yep. And look, I normally do heaps and heaps of videos on the holidays. I'll have a few. I'll have a couple, but I won't have too many because just because of the nature of the work I've got to do. I'm sort of, with the 350, you've got to order all the parts for the engine and all that sort of stuff. No, it's taken a while to get here, and that can be quite expensive too. So, yep, thank you very much, everyone, for coming. It's been a pleasure. I'll do another feed later sometime, maybe in the next holidays, and see if we can get all that sort of to the point where I promised with all these projects being finished and so forth. But until then, thanks very much for joining me. It's been fantastic, and take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Good night. How do I end this? Is that a thing? All right.